Hello and welcome to Life at the Party. We are NyxRising Industries. I am JD, your Dungeon Master. Are we ready to go?
We are!
Cue title sequence. We catch up with our adventurers, having fled Sanskra fully, made their way up through a cave to the top of a waterfall, finding a rather incredible boat tucked away, possibly for use by smugglers. Commandeering it, Sariel performing her full moon ritual under the light of the Moon Maiden, Sehanine. She joined the hunt and ended up hunting down a giant wolf spider. She returns to the party on the bank of the river, silhouetted with a new cloak and sickle.
And I realised, no shoes.
Yeah, no shoes. What do you do?
Coming back into camp.
Okay.
Looking rough.
The rest of you see Sariel emerge, first as silhouette, and shape manifests into her. She stands near the boat.
I say Elyse probably would have been sat on the mast again, reading her books.
On the bow, yeah.
She might not actually have seen Sariel yet.
Yeah.
Deep in thought.
I think, Boblem will notice her immediately.
Yeah,
like,
same.
oh my god, you're injured.
I'm alright.
You okay?
There's spiders in the woods.
Why did you go alone, little one?
Something in me had to go.
Okay.
Come sit down, Will.
Why were you out there on your own?
I heard something calling to me and I had to follow it.
Hopefully not more fey creatures.
No, not fake creatures.
And none of us could have kept watch?
I wasn't really thinking at the time.
And you got a new outfit?
Oh yeah.
It's quite becoming.
Thank you. I wondered, Elyse, if you could see what these things were.
I guess, she would have heard and started to room.
Snaps out of it and...
So she's like in the process of walking over, I guess. Are you like bleeding or anything? Or, like,
you do have some marks of battle damage on you, but you're not on death's door.
Not death's door, but...
I can see what they are. Are you okay though?
I'll live. Had worse.
So I'll give her the sickle and take off the cloak.
Okay.
Like I said, you're a survivalist.
You take the 10 minutes, you cast the ritual, you identify. The sickle is not magical, although it's finely made, and probably expensive. The cloak is a cloak of the manta ray. Yes. So this allows you to breathe underwater. So as an action, you can pull the hood up, and when you can breathe underwater, and you have a swimming speed of 60 feet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so rad.
Yeah.
So Elise's face lights up when she realises this, and she turns to Sariel and she says, "The sickle isn't magical, but the cloak will let you breathe underwater and swim faster if you're filled up." And she gives them back.
Thank you.
It's quite heavy. It does feel like skin. It feels like if you have but like skin on one side and like lined on the other. But yeah, it's like smooth running your hands down one side. But if you try and rub it up, it'll catch almost like sandpaper or like tiny bits of teeth.
Like a manta ray.
Yeah, exactly. Like a shark, like a manta ray.
Where did you find these?
There's a spider's nest in the woods.
Did you find anything else in there?
No, I didn't really look too much further.
That's where you were attacked, wasn't it? Oh boy.
Do you think anything could follow us back here?
Not now.
You killed the spider by yourself?
Yes.
Excellent.
As long as you're okay as well.
I'll be alright. Like I say, I've had worse.
She's perfectly capable.
I know.
I left my things down by the river.
Do you want me to come with you? You can go grab them.
If you'd like.
Sure, let's go. I'll take a little jaunt with you. Jaunt down the river to get my stuff.
Yeah, you can walk down under the moonlight and feet like softly treading in the water, which is just lapping by your feet. It's cold, but this new mantle wraps around you and is warm and comforting, and you get back to your stuff easy enough. It's not been disturbed.
Cool. Sort of gather it all back up again.
You walked twice away.
Isn't that far? Just wanted a bit of privacy.
That's fair. Well, if you ever do want company, let me know. And by the way, take 9 points of hit points back so I can't healing word on you.
Sneaky bastard.
Gotcha.
Astra's just like, please.
Please, let me heal you.
You say you were going to do something else?
Yes, just looking up at the moon again, and just to say, in a language that Astra won't understand.
My mother Saline, may we be worthy of your radiance, and may your grace light our darkest days.
You say that and you feel relief as you close your ritual.
Okay, we can go.
Sure. That's a very pretty language.
It's Elvish.
Oh. Suppose the others don't really speak it that much around.
I mean, I think Cassian understands it. And
I'm sure he must do.
Boblem would do. But no need to really speak in other languages when everyone speaks common.
I suppose. Come on, let's get back then. You got your shoes.
Oh yes.
Takes shoes. Puts shoes back on.
Booties.
You will see her ankles are covered in scars.
His tail wraps around like your perimeter as we walk back again.
You walk back to the ship.
On the ship, Ren's just gonna, if nobody minds, I'm gonna go below deck and sleep.
Go for it. I was going to offer to take first watch anyway.
Might I have a word before you tuck in for the night?
I suppose so.
I can follow you down.
This is everyone calling this. Nice.
Ren's worst.
I told you I would have my turn!
Ren's
Elyse and
very
Boblem
long
are just
day.
like, do we not get to come?
Boblem at least they're like, guess we'll wait here
Yeah.
then.
We can go elsewhere.
It's a fairly small ship. Like, if everything's quiet, you might hear. But unless they're whispering.
I'm just going to sit on the deck. Like, I don't care what they.
Because Boblem will go sit next to it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna bother you, just keep you company.
She's
It's kind of cold.
worried.
There is like a brazier in the like hanging off the mast, which you can light with coals, and
Oh, cool.
it's sort of like covered over, so it won't set fire to the ship.
Cool. Yeah, I'd go sit near that. Maybe we can start all fire.
Do you want privacy for this conversation, or what?
Privacy would be nice.
Fine, step off the ship. A light if you don't mind. A light if you don't mind.
One down.
Oh, there are oil lamps
Oh.
in like underneath.
We're going
Not
half away from the ship.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were underneath. My bad.
Wait, sorry. Boblem.
What?
Should I turn invisible and follow them?
Wouldn't that be spying on them?
I'm so curious.
I don't know if they would appreciate that. You do you.
Don't enable her!
Boblem will remember this.
Just don't think they would appreciate being spied on, but
Do it. Roll poorly on your stealth.
So we walk away from the ship
With a dancing
with
light.
a dancing light. As we get far away, Ren sort of pulls his arms around himself protectively. Yes?
Okay. Cassian leans against a tree. Contrary to what you may believe, this changes nothing. I will not apologize for anything that I have said to you leading up to this, whatever you want to call it, reveal. And I will not apologize for any future actions. I will speak my mind. I am sick of sucking up to rich people, so you will be treated as I see fit. And that doesn't mean I look down on you in any way, but I certainly won't be looking up at you in an ivory tower.
Well, good to know that you're still spineless regardless of my status. Was that all? Did this really require us to walk this far away from the ship?
The light goes out.
You can't see shit.
Okay, very funny. And what are you hoping to achieve with this?
You hear his voice inside your head. Not spoken. Just calm down, Renard. I'm sure we can get a better allyship out of this if we just talk about our feelings a little bit more. And the sound of footsteps walking away. And after a few feet or so, the light comes back on where you are. And just sort of back towards the ship.
Ren's just going to sit down against the tree.
Their little chat, was that in our direction or the other direction? Like where we went to pick up?
Well, I figured this was after you two got
Okay,
back.
after we back.
Oh, okay. Ren's just going to stay sitting there.
Okay. How long does he stay sitting there?
A while. Like, at least half an hour longer.
Okay.
He's going to hug his arms around his legs and just rest his chin on his arms, just... I'm going to see if he falls asleep then. Oh.
What are you rolling for?
He does. He falls asleep where he's sitting.
Okay.
Does that mean that we see Cassian arrive without
Yeah,
Renard?
without Ren, and we're like, oh, you murdered him, great.
You see him arrive before he falls asleep.
Elyse would have turned to Boblem and said, okay, I was just joking, I'm not going to do it. And like sit down with him. And she will... She's just like flicking through her book on Arcane Foci, looking for mentions of Court and Sharavar. She's just kind of like
Okay.
leafing through it.
No mentions of either.
Yeah. She looks kind of disappointed and just puts the book away.
You alright? You don't seem quite happy.
I don't really know how to answer that. Sorry.
It's okay if you're not alright. It's okay if you're not happy.
As it's weird having like the worst things happen to you, but then finding these strange little slivers of something that might be something you've been looking for your entire life in there. I don't know. It's kind of tumultuous.
Sounds like mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Sounds confusing.
Yeah, it is. But from what I spoke to Ren earlier, and it sounds like I might be able to find some information in Lakeside, which might be useful.
Yeah, about your friends?
Yeah, something like that.
Hope you find them. I like to meet them.
Oh, I'd love you to meet them, all of you.
Do they all own bats?
Just under.
I really want to meet Sandra then.
I think you and Astra and him would have a lot to speak about.
Bats.
Yeah. Well, no, he has spent a lot of time out in nature as well and appreciates the cycle of nature and creatures and speaks with animals and
Oh,
yeah.
like me.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
And yeah, they're a mixed bunch.
How did you meet them?
Are Astra and Sariel there as well?
We say we're walking back.
Yeah, so they'd be getting back with us. Actually, no, they'd be back because they got back before these two left. So they'd be on the ship.
We don't have to be near you guys.
Oh no, it's fine. I was wondering. Well, I met Xander like 4 years ago now. And most of the others I've known a lot longer. We just like hired him and then he stuck around. He said he stuck around because his bats liked me so much.
Boblem laughs as well.
I really miss him.
I can't imagine. You must be very lucky to have so many friends.
Yeah, I guess.
Have so many people you care for. And they care for you. We're gonna find them.
I'm sure we will.
We'll help you.
She looks kind of she like lets out a sigh of kind of like releasing stress because as Boblem says that, she's like, yes, and I must free them from Arrakis. Some of them from Arrakis.
Yeah.
She's like thinking that, she doesn't say it out loud.
Jailbreak.
Heist. Yeah. Because I'm going to save them. The ones in Arrakis.
I'm sure you will. And if we're around, we can help with that. Well, can't make promises for the others, but...
If you want to, I'd welcome the help.
Yeah.
I know that I have to... Well, Xander said he would find me. And I'm hoping that he's with Amara, that's the woman who was also on the poster. And maybe some others, I don't know. But I'm not... I know I need them with me before we can do that.
Yeah,
So,
we'll find them.
Yeah.
Rest assured. And then you just kind of bumps your shoulder as well.
thank you. You're very sweet, you know.
Oh, thank you. I think you're very sweet as well. Very
She
strong.
literally just like crumbles and is like, really?
Yeah, I mean, you have your own way of being sweet, you know?
Oh, it's my turn to be savage.
Happens to the best of us.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you really care for Astra. It's really sweet. Yeah,
he's a good person.
when you noticed that he wanted to go into that temple, you really were willing to go there for him.
Even though I knew it was a terrible idea.
I mean, I was also willing to go there, so...
Yeah. Oh, I should have. I knew better, but I'm not one to abandon people to do things on their own. I know that sounds ironic.
That's really sweet, you see? I think you're quite hard on yourself. You shouldn't be.
What do you mean?
I don't know, you always say, I should have been more like this, or I should have been more like that, or I should be stronger. You know? And I think you're plenty of those things.
I mean, everyone has room for improvement, you know? It's...
Of course, but you know, people are kind of like trees. Kind of like a plant.
Sorry.
So here's how I see it. When a plant is not really growing, or if it's decaying, you don't get angry at the plant and go, why don't you grow? You try to feed it back into health, you know? And I think it's the same with people. Instead of getting angry at yourself for things you might not like about you, you should try to nourish yourself back into health. Does that make sense?
Elyse looks like...
You guys!
Are you guys okay?
Yeah? Boblem speaking the truth. We can all learn from Boblem. My shirt is incorrect. Boblem is chemotherapy. Oh my god.
Elyse,
Soft men.
Big relay. Oh god, your hand is so cold.
I'm always cold.
I'm like your heart. Old hands, warm heart.
as Boblem was saying this, Elyse at first looks like incredibly confused and...
Fair.
But she... Like, her expression just kind of shifts to being more thoughtful the longer you speak. And she's just kind of like... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Sometimes.
Good.
For some people.
I like to think about it that way at least.
Yeah. You have a good point.
Thank you.
You do. He really does. It took everything for me to not just go...
Instead of getting back on the ship, Cassian's going to go a little bit upstream, unroll his bedroll and just sleep next to the river, where he can hear the water right next to him, kind of like with a hand out, and then bring it back in, because fuck everyone else, he wants to be alone right now.
He's not even gonna come back to give us explanation
Nope.
why Renard is not there.
So both of them just disappear into the night.
Oh, you're able to see them with your dark vision. You can see
so
them.
we
Can
can
we
still
see
see-
Renard falling asleep?
You can see him crouched over for like half an hour.
He sat himself behind a tree. Like he doesn't want to be sitting.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was like tree backed up against it, but like you can still see. If not, then no. After the chat, you don't see where he comes back to.
We would have sensed that, like, well, they're not back yet, that's weird.
Yeah, after a while we'll be like, shouldn't they have been back by now?
So you would have seen Cassian go past and
Be like, nope.
So we saw Cassian.
yeah.
Cassian
Well, you would have
probably
come on
didn't
ship
see
to get your bedroll and then.
Silently.
Cassian went that way, but his light's still up over there, so I'm assuming Renard's having a moment over there.
Okay, what's he done to piss him off?
After a while, it would drop off when Cassian falls asleep.
Should we go check just in case he murdered Ren or something?
Oh, that would not be good.
Someone want to go check on Cassian, someone want to go check on Ren?
Yeah, I'll go check on Renard.
I'll come with you.
Okay.
I'll look after the ship.
I mean, someone needs to go see if Cassian's okay.
Sariel.
Okay.
Would you mind?
It's fine.
You're both able to find your respective quarries. Easier enough. Like, yeah, Ren's behind a tree, but like you know where he was
Yeah.
from the light, so
We
you're
just
able to walk up and
Stand
find
there.
him. He seems to be snoozing slightly.
Is he asleep or is he dead?
I think he's
It's hard to tell with the mask on.
Do you think he would be offended if I carried him back? I don't want to wake him.
Like a parent carrying you up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He doesn't quite like to be touched, so.
I don't think you should touch him without his permission when he's not even awake. Does he look like deep asleep?
Probably not too deep.
He's
No.
snoozing. Just nodding.
I just kind of crouch in front of him a little bit and I'm just like, Renard,
It would wake you.
you okay?
I literally can't see you.
I don't have a light spell. I'll take out my arcane focus and just power it. Is that enough of a glow?
Yeah, and close enough.
It's just floating above my head. Are you alright?
Suppose so.
Everything okay with Cassian?
Yeah, he's just an asshole as usual.
That's you.
Why he saved you? You seem quite upset.
It's not really anything he said, it's just... I am... I'm sorry, just I don't want to...
It's okay.
It's okay.
You want to go sleep in the ship? You did say you were tired of sleeping on the ground. This is the ground.
Thank
The
you.
man makes a good point.
Thank you, Boblem. Yeah, I suppose so.
Come on, let's go. I'll take first watch.
Yeah, I can take first watch with you.
Sorry, no one heard that. Sure. My voice.
He will trail after you back.
At least like lighting the way with the storms.
Okay.
With the arcane focus.
You're walking back, Boblem.
Yeah.
Just look around the area and something catches your eye and the moonlight glints off a cluster of eyes deep in the trees.
Nope.
About 10 feet above where Renard was.
Eyes?
What?
Sorry, what?
Sorry. A lot of eyes!
How to freak out two people.
Maybe we should hurry. I think there
I
were
don't
a
know.
bunch of eyes right where you were.
At the noise, they silently move back up into the canopy of the tree.
You put that spider off your face, sir.
No.
Sir.
Illegal.
Might have needed it.
Not anymore.
No, I wouldn't, because if Renard was asleep, he's not going to get any defense.
Can I try and see where they went? Or is it just not
You
possible
can
to
make
see?
a investigation check, yeah?
9.
This is their habitat, at least let's just leave it.
You step back into the tree line, you see a huge, huge spider slinking back into the trees. You look round and at least 2, 3 more.
It's heading away.
Let's go mind
They're
our
heading-
business.
further back up into the trees. They were probably going closer down, seeing as Renard was sleeping.
I'll head back to the others and whisper, the spiders Sariel mentioned. I think it might be more of them.
They don't seem to follow you out the trees.
Let's just get
So
back to
we
the
all
ship.
made it back.
Yeah.
You were just easy prey.
Just gonna go silently under deck.
Mm.
And, I'm assuming there's like at least one bunk down there.
Yeah, there's kind of like not like double bunks, but yeah, there are bunks like all around the side, kind of like almost like sofas coming out, but like
Yeah.
wide enough to lie on, which line the entire cabin. You could all sleep in there.
Sleep over.
Yeah, it's basically one long like galley.
Mm.
But even then, it's pretty cramped.
Seat myself down, like facing the steps back up to the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Get some writing paper out of my bag, and like prop my bag on my lap and just start writing something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you go to Cassian?
I did.
Okay. You go to Cassian.
Are you
see him.
asleep?
No, he's just lying, arms crossed, staring up at the sky.
Angrily looks at the sky.
I'm gonna come lay down next to him and also look at the sky.
Okay.
So you don't look like such an asshole.
Did you two get in an argument again?
Suppose you could call it that. I'm frustrated, Sariel.
You're frustrated a lot of the time.
More so than usual. I don't usually have the best social graces outside of work practices because I'm usually lying to people. The truth is hard and harsh, and sometimes you try and tell the truth, and then people insult you, and you act brashly, and you're not happy with any sort of outcome, so you just want to be alone.
Do you want me to leave?
You're fine. It's not that I don't think that you're here, but of all the people in this group, you are fine and good company.
I'll take fine.
How was your night out?
Unexpected.
Interesting. Killed a spider?
I did. Don't normally do that. Not with these rituals.
You've done this before?
Every month.
Every month.
It's a bit different now.
Not usually spider killing then?
No.
Full moon sort of deal?
Yes. I've done it for a very, very long time. It would feel strange to not do it now.
That's understandable. Some of us, we follow strange powers.
Some people need that support in their lives. Something to believe in.
I suppose so. And if your religion gives you comfort, that's fine by me.
I don't know if it's necessarily the religion anymore. It's
The drive?
the habit.
Hmm.
I do it for those who can't.
Those who you have lost.
She's quiet for a moment.
It's okay.
Those who I've lost and those who find themselves unable.
A noble sentiment.
I wouldn't call it noble. It's the least I can do.
Well, I suppose someone has to do it, so.
What about you?
Not about me.
Any rituals you undertake to bring yourself comfort?
Not in particular. Work was fine for a while. No, not so much. I still enjoy sewing, embroidery, but when it was a constant chore, it was not fun, you understand?
thought you told me you were looking for adventure. Something new.
Something new is more accurate. I'm just sick of what my life ended up being.
Well, we live so long, we're lucky to have the time to change that.
I'd rather not. You don't have to stay out here if you don't wish.
No. I like watching her at night. Looks up at me.
She's quite a sight to marvel at. I just like the sound of the running water.
I agree.
Good night, Sariel.
Good night, Cassian.
And sleep takes you under the stars. Those of you in the cabin, take your turns resting and watching. Those of you who do, for the sake of experiencing. Nothing occurs, nothing presents itself in the night. The spiders don't seem to get any closer. They don't seem to leave the tree line. Dawn comes, and with it the shriek of toucans and parrots. And
Ren will be straight up at first light and start preparing the ship for another day of sailing, checking all the lines.
Elyse will have at some point changed out of just like the tunic and trousers from Sanskrit she was wearing back into her old outfit.
Yeah, cool.
And she's also like up and ready and doing ship
Raring
stuff.
to go, getting it ship shape. Yeah.
Also, Ren's gonna out here in the jungle is gonna shed the leather coat back down to the shirt and chainmail because warm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you all get back on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get moving.
When I come out onto deck, I want to look at you and just sort of pat myself and throw you a coin purse. Renard, throw Renard a coin purse.
Grab it out there.
That's your 25 gold back. Told you I'd pay you back.
Thank you.
No problem.
You haven't left yourself with nothing, have you?
No, don't worry about me. So I can make money quickly.
Do you want your coin purse?
Yes, please, I got that. I just thought it looked fun to do that.
I see people do it in movies.
I've been throwing 25 coins in. I thought it'd be less awkward than just sort of like catch.
I will empty it into something in my bag and give you back the coin purse.
Thank you.
Alright, who's taking the lines today?
I'll do it.
Fine.
Elyse will approach Astra before they set off and just very quietly say, at some point when we have a break, would you mind taking a look at my back again?
Of course
I'd rather I ask you first before you just heal without saying anything.
Of course I can. Just say when.
Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah. Pull up the anchor. And rope the bow lines.
You set sail, coming through. The wind not as strong, but coming in a more favourable direction. So you're able to sail just straight upstream. Are you doing anything while you sail?
I'll just be watching out for anything of significance on
Okay,
there.
yeah, perception check.
17.
17? Okay. Sailing about 2, 3, 4 hours in, nothing much of consequence. At one point you do see ruined remains of like a little fishing, like a little cog, sort of battered and broken against, so like stuck up against a tree root. It's very overgrown, looks like it's probably been there for a while, probably got damaged upstream and it's just floated down. Another few hours passed, shortly past lunchtime, and we're sailing on, and something does break up the line of the river ahead, and can't really make out what it is at the moment, but you press forward, and 15 minutes later you get close enough and you realise it looks like a skull, sort of in the river, long and drawn out, and a sort of yellowish brown colour of bone that had been decaying for a long time. And as you get closer and closer, you realise the size of it. And this thing is probably about the size of your ship.
Cassian, loose the sails.
I do
Releasing the sails, so the boat slows down to absolutely nothing, the sail flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you mean that the skull is the size of the ship?
Yeah.
Is it right in the middle of the water?
It's on the edge of the water.
Okay.
What sort of shape is it? Is it like a giant human skull, or is it like a weird shaped animal?
Are you staying in the ship, or are you going out to look at it up close?
How? I mean, would we have to swim, or do we have like a little rope?
You could moor the ship at the side.
Oh, okay.
Should I take the boat?
Should we check this out? This looks interesting, right?
Maybe not go there ourselves. If you want, I could try and call upon an animal. Try and if I can see anything by its eyes.
Sure.
Like through its eyes.
Okay. You reach out and send out this sort of wave of natural energy, and even though you don't hear it respond, you feel it, and a fey spirit somewhere out there steps through the boundary to our world and forms in our world. For a second you could see through its eyes and feel through its senses before it begins to take form, this sort of amorphous energy at the moment. What form does it take?
Oh, can it be a hummingbird?
It can be a hummingbird.
Stop!
I really like hummingbirds.
Boblem looks up above, and all of you follow his gaze as around the top of the mast is this tiny bejeweled hummingbird in like pea green to turquoise and this bright purple belly. Boblem puts out his finger and it lands on it.
Stop. That's so beautiful.
Okay.
Very pretty. Okay, I'll try and see if you can take a closer look for me, friend.
And you see Boblem's eyes mirroring these like black orbs of the hummingbird's eyes, and Boblem's mouth falls a little bit slack. But you can see he's very much still there and breathing. But the hummingbird comes up and off his finger, circles around everyone, and then darts off to the skull, about 20-25 feet away.
Do I recognise what's happening and what he's doing?
I don't know if you know the spell.
I don't know the spell, but have I seen anyone else do it?
I would.
Yes, you would.
If that's now a thing we can do.
Yes, it is.
It'll be okay.
It looks familiar to stuff you've seen before.
It looks familiar.
What's happening then?
He's okay, don't worry.
He's looking through the hummingbird's eyes.
Can he hear us?
Not at the moment. But he'll
His
be
senses are with the bird, but his body is here. He'll be fine.
For everyone else, this is a new Unearthed Arcana feature that we are trying out. Drew's being able to use Wild Shape to cast Find Familiar. It's very cool. Okay.
Druids. What do his hummingbird eyes see?
You see yourself, your face sort of drop and go a little bit slack, but still very much there. And the rest of the party looking very concerned and confused. And back to the hummingbird, and back to you, and then you
You're saying that's what I'm
zip
told.
off.
Wow, the rest of the people are short.
And you watch through its eyes. You circle over the ship once and soar over to the skull. You see it is on its side. Make a nature check. It is about the length of the ship.
Terrifying.
Run. It's a natural one.
No.
Oh no, hummingbird. Oh man.
Someone to blind hummingbird.
3, okay. It's hard to get a sense from this direction, from up top. So you spend a good 2 minutes sort of going around and taking like a wide berth and looking up close, and it's not before you get to a fang, which is about a good meter and a half long, sort of cresting out of its mouth. You get the sense this might be a snake of some sort. Colossal.
Big boy.
Yeah. But the skull itself, half embedded in the mud and half poking out, chunks of it taken out. Above where the eye socket is, a big gouge in the bone. And there's no flesh left by this point. This is old, it is yellowed and snaked, and there are patches of moss and bracken growing on it. You fly through the eye sockets, and there's a little family of toads who are made it their home. You well them.
They're trying to eat me that time.
Maybe.
He's on your shit list.
On my list.
Root toad, root gator.
You zoom out and your senses return to your own. You blink your eyes, and a few moments later, lands back on the finger.
Thank you for the help.
What did you see?
So, I saw a big skull, but it looked very like snake.
Huh.
It's a
Big snake.
Anyone ever heard of giant snakes?
I mean, we saw
Some
that
chunks-
giant gator.
Yeah, some chunks of her skull were missing.
Oh,
Although the skull did look quite old. So I don't know if that means we're safe or
definitely
not.
snake, not like a. Not
Was
a
a
dragon
family
or
of
anything.
toads living in it?
Okay.
One
Oh.
tried to eat me.
Just for the record, you can speak while you're in while you're in
Can I?
level 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, so I could have been relating the whole thing to
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Still dead in the ice though.
I mean, did it look as though we might be able to find anything useful in there, or should we just sail around it?
I just saw a family of toads.
Okay.
Unless you want to take a look at the skull, take its had giant fangs. But I don't know if I would recommend that.
Might
then-
be worth something.
Well, the last time we went wandering around in wreckage, manticores attacked us.
So we sail past. Can I unroll the map, sort of just gauge how far we've come?
So you probably have another day sailing until you get to Lake Velric.
Okay. So vaguely, with my understanding of maps, can I mark on where this
Yeah.
where this is on the river?
Yeah.
Cool.
I wonder what could have killed something that big.
Yeah. I wonder if it's still around.
You did notice it was just the head. You didn't see the rest of the body. If everyone wants to make a perception check.
Yeah. 12.
17.
21.
21. Okay.
20.
Okay, so you two notice that sort of around where the head is, it was all like embedded in the bank. Looking near it, the trees are slightly thinner, to where it's almost like patchy, with in the forest just off where the head is. It's not as dense there as it is everywhere else.
You see that too, right?
Yeah.
You don't have any idea what that might mean?
Do I have any idea from like what I know from
Nature
nature?
stuff.
Perhaps the head rolled down and... Because it is slightly sloped coming down to the river. Perhaps it rolled down, knocked some of the trees out of the way a while ago, and they haven't grown back as thickly.
Oh, okay. I relay that information.
Yeah.
So
So
there might be something up there, either dangerous or interesting.
Like, can you send your hummingbird to look?
yeah, I guess I could.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? Is it the same as using bit shape twice, or is it still the same? When
It's the same one, you're keeping it up. So
Okay.
it will last for half your druid level, so 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes, you
Yeah.
send
Friend for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Tiny friend.
you send it off. It'll go past your scope, so it can go look at stuff, and then when it gets back into range, it can like convey the visions to you.
Yeah.
So it's gone for about 5 minutes. Then you hear the and it perches on your shoulder, and these visions flash into your mind. It soared over the head and up through the forest, up this slight bank. And once it crested the bank, it came to the remains of the snake. This titanic creature, probably 50 meters in length. The remains of it, these rib cages, each easily twice as high as a human, and half embedded in the mulchy soil and curving round, remaining very dead where it is, entwined and around another corpse, another skeleton just as old, but enormous, giant. You see, sticking out of the mulch, where the neck ends, the hilt of an ancient sword, stone, incredibly large. It's hard to gauge a sense of scale, being you're seeing through this thing's eyes, but there was probably a fight between a giant of old and this enormous snake a long time ago. Much of the giant's corpse, the skeleton, is completely overgrown with greenery and fungi and plant and trees growing through the rib cages. Where it sat, you see patches of stone underneath, sort of just pushing through sort of the greenery, and as if the giant has fallen on the top of this thing, on top of these patches of stone. You're looking beyond it, and what seems to be like a hill rises out of the greenery of this sort of mountain forest. At the top of it, just in the distance, your hummingbird eyes can see something glittering, gold catching the sunlight at the top of this hill.
I relay, as you're relaying that. All is relaying. Well,
I would very much like to go and have a look.
I look at him in like complete surprise because I thought I was about to have to defend the fact that I also want to go and have a look at this. I'm just kind of like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
There are very few things that I'm particularly interested in changing the course for, but something that old I'm very interested in.
Yeah, absolutely.
If everyone's okay with that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I see no reason not to.
Just make sure to take the ship with us.
Yeah. I'm gonna hurry and pull the sails in myself to bring us over there. I'll be excited.
Okay. Step off the ship onto the ground, holding the bottle in your hand, not really sure what's going to happen, and you tentatively hold it away from you, the cork, and you hear this sort of crack and suction noise, and you see the ship folding into itself into ways that are impossible to comprehend, and it hurts your eyes, and you find yourself looking away from it as this sort of defies physics and everything that you understand. Your head hurts for a second, and then you see the tiny little model ship just rocking on the wave. This big ripple from where water once was washes out, and it laps over all your feet. The boat sorry, in the bottle.
Are also facial expressions.
The bottle vanished from your hand, and so is now the boat and the bottle washed towards you.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was just like, pick it up.
Wow.
I tried to watch as much of the transformation as I physically was able to.
And you can watch it. It's just it's like, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. It hurts. It hurts your head a little bit to watch it the first time. Just seeing this thing fold into space that isn't there.
That's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Oh my god, I know so many people who would lose their fucking minds over this.
So do I.
There's a
Myself
sharp,
included.
sorry, there's a sharp, like, citric smell afterwards.
Interesting.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, I'll put it in the pouch of my arcane focus.
Take off up the hill.
Okay. You walk up to the skull and sort of through the thinning trees past it. It's about a 2-minute walk up the bank through like the thinner trees, where it's almost like a path. The trees here do look smaller and thinner than the ones around it.
Can I kind of keep a lookout for like creatures or dangerous
make a
beings
perception check.
that might be watching us? Natural 20.
Nice. Okay. Looking through, you do see signs of wildlife, but mostly of very small, like birds and bugs and small beasts. You see one sort of pig-like looking creature with this long snout, kind of blue and red furs will come out of the undergrowth. And then
Now you can be that.
But do you want to?
Yes!
you see it retreat back into the undergrowth and then pop back out, and another 3, 4, 5 appear and sort of snuffling.
40 wild hogs.
Pretty much, yeah. You do hear and one about 4 or 5 times larger than the other just appears at the tree line, just sort of staring you down. It looks sort of like a pig with an elephant's tusk. Elephant's trunk, but it does have 2 sort of serrated, oddly sized tusks coming out of this blue and red fur, and just sort of looks at all of you before heading back into the undergrowth. But as beset by that as you are, you don't see any threats, and you're certain of it.
Cute.
Okay. You walk up the hill and you crest over this bank. It seems to almost dip slightly a little bit again, but not fully. And you do see before you in the distance, about 150 meters away, this sort of conical hill, almost like a pyramid, but not really quite. It does seem to be vegetation, natural, but at the top, almost a crest of something rectangular and flat poking out the top of it. As you step over, the light catches something, and something gold glimmers in the distance and just shines at the top of this thing. But before you, the first sight you see is these 2 skeletons wrapped in the dance of death from hundreds of years ago. It's hard to gain perspective from this side, where you're standing at the base of this giant's head, wrapped up in the body of this snake, limbs everywhere contorted and twisted, and the end of the snake stopping abruptly at the top of the top of the hill, basically looking to the side, the hilt of an ancient, enormous sword sort of stuck out of the mulch and grass. You look up at it and it goes about 10 feet high. It's a good 3-4 feet wide. And going all the way down to the pommel and inscribed with these ancient, intricate, detailed runes. Most of them grown over with moss and worn down, but still clear to see. You look over, you do see the entirety of these two beings, with perhaps the giant lost his life as he managed to behead the creature, and its head rolled down the hill.
Are the runes familiar to me at all?
They don't look like a language you speak.
Okay.
I don't believe you speak giant. No. Sorry, what's on my nose?
Elyse will immediately take out her journal, and as they're walking around it, she starts to kind of sketch over like a double page. She starts to like sketch the whole, like the two interspersed bodies and the sword, and the runes in the sword as well.
Yeah. You can't see the blade of the sword anymore. It looks like it's completely rotted away. The hilt, the handle, and the pommel are very much still there, and they're this solid blue-grey stone.
Rend looks like he still hasn't got his face mask back on. He looks genuinely incredibly excited, and he just sort of skipping his step past Astra. It's just like, let's check it out. And then hug your tail.
Okay.
What?
Astra just giggles and grabs his tail.
And not even looking back, I'm just going down to check out this long ancient sword.
Okay.
Cassian goes quietly tearing off ahead to follow whatever the gold glimmer is.
Okay. So you head off and you sort of walk around the head of this creature, and you see a humanoid skull, but colossal proportions. Each eye socket about a metre or so wide, and go past that through the collarbone into the ribs. The ribs which are sort of half in, half out of the dirt, and you're able to walk through them like this chapel of overarching beams of bone, covered in moss and lichen with trees and roots growing through. Okay? Your step finds patches of firm, and then patches which are softer. As the sort of ground comes up halfway through the ribs, you sort of step over some things, and sometimes it's mulch and moss and trees and vegetation which are just sort of risen up and is everywhere. But there are patches of white stonework, square and in line and perpendicular to each other. Make an investigation check.
Oh, 21.
Yeah.
21. You take a second and you have an idea. You step out of the skeleton for a second and sort of just shamble up onto the wrist and you stand on this thing and look out and trace some lines and some other, and you realise this might be the remnants of a town. Underneath this thing, maybe this battle happened hundreds of years ago on a town, and these patches of stonework are the tops of buildings. And the mulch over the years, the bracken and dirt and leaves and vegetation has just grown so much that it's grown almost completely over it. And you look out to the distance of this hill, and it's probably a part of this town as well. You're able to make out chimney tops and just the corners of like stone facades and flashings, and where you're standing is basically the top of a street, like an avenue moving up to this hill, but much of it shattered and broken and now completely overgrown by the weight of these two colossal beings.
So I'm sort of on top of some of the bones now.
Yes.
To get this
Yes.
view.
Yes.
Yeah. In which case I'll call out to whoever's closest and sort of go, "You might want to come get a view from up here."
Ren is going to jog over straight away.
Right away.
And
Right away.
what have you seen?
Yeah.
These two titans have fallen on top of a town. I can see where the rooftops and chimneys used to be.
Oh, that's very sad.
You're able to climb on top of like the wrist, and you could even climb on top, like climb up the ribs to be on the side of the rib
Elyse is
cage.
climbing.
Yeah. You're all able to help each other up and use the various
She's like,
lines, cracks, and
Spider-Man.
if you wish, you're all able to pull each other up, and you stand a good 10-12 feet on the top of this carcass with the rib cage with the remains of the snake winding around it and sort of burrowing under now where the ground is around this thing, and you can see it was throttling its neck, the giant's neck.
Is this anything I've ever read about?
Not at all.
Wow.
No. You mean you've read about giants and like there are tales of mythic snakes, but you don't know any particular story of a battle happening here.
This is beautiful.
It's tragic.
Very tragic.
So look at the way that nature reclaimed everything back. It's stunning.
You see where there would be the remains of a belt buckle, of patches of armour, each of them huge, some like metal segments which have remained and grown over and rusted and decayed, but still barely there and visible. You see the remnants of what was probably once its satchel, similar in design to yours, but you could all fit inside it. It's like a tent, just sort of hanging there and mostly decayed and hanging over. Clearly a bag at one
Is that
point.
like a pouch on a belt?
Yeah.
I pointed it, I'm like, should we see if there's anything still inside it?
Giant rations.
Giant rations? Do you want
Do we
more
need more
rations?
rations?
Ancient giant rations.
I want to see what's left of the town, if we can look in any of it.
Yeah.
So the town is almost completely submerged and grown over by just years and years of plant growth. Like as like a rainforest grows, the dirt levels actually like lift up over hundreds of years. And it's done that. It's pretty much reclaimed this town. You could like dig some out and access in through the top, perhaps. You do notice, so after pointing this out, you've noticed that at the top of the hill there is structure visibly poking out of
Yeah,
the
that's
top.
what I want to go to.
Elyse turns to Boblem. When you made that hut for us in the jungle, in the swamps, sorry,
Yeah.
that spell you used, do you think you could use it to dig so that we could see what's inside these buried buildings?
I can try.
Yeah. You know that's supposed to do?
Yes, I do, because it's a cantrip.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you know that spell? Such a funny way.
In
character, but out
Funny
character.
spells.
Funny spells.
The head pops up, funny sword.
Still living in the town.
No, he pops up from outside the pouch. He just walks out of there.
I still want to try and check out the pouch though.
Yeah, okay. You sort of bounce beam along the ribs and like jumping from one to the other to get down to the waist and get to the remnants of this pouch, and it is mostly overgrown. There are roots growing completely through it, but make an investigation check.
So dirty.
5 total.
5. Okay. You dig through and sort of chuck some chunks of plant and root and branch out of the way, and you find a lot of stuff which just seems to be just decayed and just rotten over, like some bits of wood. You do find some of the things that are left around. You find one large, almost seems like a crystal in a sort of like teardrop shaped, a bit bigger than your fist. And down.
Take it.
You find what seems to be the remnants of maybe 2 or 3 people, like normal sized, but by this point completely decayed, nothing more than bones and dust.
It's a bag of bones. It's a bag of bones.
On one of them, this sort of cuff on the top of the side of their skull, just sort of resting on it, which is inscribed further with runes as well.
The same language,
No,
or a different one?
you don't recognise it. It looks like another runic language, but not one that you recognise.
Okay. So what is it? Like on their
ear
ear?
cuff, yeah, sort of like a bit of jewellery.
I take it.
Okay. You find.
So what was it made from?
It seems to be like brass or. On another of the corpse, you find a few like bands, like armbands, but they look like inscribed snakes. Like one snake is a whole thing. Like
What are they made from?
banding around. Like copper, perhaps.
I'll take those as well. So they're like long bracelets, basically.
Yeah.
Twist around.
I would like to be heading to the bit we can see above ground.
Yeah.
The shiny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sort of pad through, like walking over the firm stone and then over the sort of mulchy ground and back home. You get to the bottom of the hill. It's probably like 20 meters high, maybe. It's a fairly gentle slope. You're able to get up and you begin to climb. And we'll say at least you
Yeah, I was
catch
about
up.
to say I would have climbed back
I
up.
follow Renard.
I brought a skull with me. I'm just like mage handing it along next to me,
Okay.
waiting for someone to notice.
Oh yeah.
Many friend guys.
You find what seems to be currency, but each coin is about the size of like a small plate and have a hole.
Oh, I take those.
Have a hole punched in them. They're very sort of fragile, not decayed by any means, but sort of much thinner than you would expect for something of such size.
Yeah, I take them.
Right. They do also have like rune inscriptions on them as well. They seem to be bronze. Okay.
Ash just taking his time following you as well, just sort of taking everything in and like running his hand across all of the overgrown bones and stuff.
So Cassian's closest behind me.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn around looking very excited and just be like, are you going to come inside?
Sure.
I'm following it.
I'm racing
follow
up the
us
hill.
well.
If you're racing, I'm racing you. Don't activate
Okay.
the challenge within me.
If you want to, make an athletics check.
Children. Boys.
Calling after some of us have only got short legs.
I have
she's
minus
not gonna try to
2
catch up.
athletics.
21.
12. But as soon as he starts pulling ahead, Misty Step.
Okay.
I will use
You'll sort of
my feet.
nice. You'll sort of half run, half scrabble, like, pull yourself up, and as you go, you running and you grasp one bit, and a chunk of vines falls off, exposing stone underneath. It sort of peels back, and you glance at it in amazement and keep going up to the top. You sort of crest over where the hill sort of naturally domes, and there's good like 3-4 foot lip of stone. You hop over. And it's like all of you, roughly within short distance, you getting there a little bit before Renard, and everyone sort of gets out like a little bit panting, and
That's cheating.
Use what skills you have.
He's right.
you see.
Elyse can fly.
She's still got a skull hovering next to her. Held by a hand. You're like my new friend.
Very classy.
What's his name?
Yorick.
I was trying not to say it.
Sariel just rocks up. Yorick.
I was trying so hard to think of anything else.
No.
That's you,
Is
not
that
the
from a
dog.
dream or did you just come up with
I
it?
don't know, it just came to me.
I like it.
As Elyse is showing off the skull, I'm going to try and climb into
Okay.
the building.
Yeah, okay, so you get to basically a stone square, like a stone lip, and you climb over, and you see the area that you're on is probably. Oh, actually, wait, I might have a map of it.
Ooh.
Not one that I've
so
printed out.
It's like the happiest friend to finish episodes
When
and
Astra
episodes.
wants to go inside a temple, it's not fun. Everyone's on board.
So you're standing on a lip of stone about 3 feet higher, and there's an indent below you. It's about 30 feet across, it's square, so 30 feet each way.
The indent is.
The outer bit, so the indent is 5 feet shorter. So sorry, it's a lip of 5 feet then. So that's 20 feet across. Okay? So it's sunken in by 2-3 feet, all made of this same light coloured stone. In the middle, you see this circular sort of dais raised with what seems to be like an uplifted cross on it, almost like a bracket. You see piles and piles of foliage and leaf and vines all around the edges, all which are sort of like a covering the edges of the lip up.
I'm going to start clearing them.
Okay. You begin pouring it away, pulling it, and you see a glimmer of gold underneath. You separate it and pull it, and then you pull one last leaf, and something flies out from underneath you, from the pile of vines in front of you, zooms past you like an extremely powerful magnet, sticks to the cross. Okay? You look at it, your heads all snap round, this sort of football-sized orb of gold stuck to this cross, held perfectly in the bracket. A shockwave blasts off. I'd like you all to make a constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Bloody hell.
I sound so excited about it, Renard.
Nice. 21.
Constitution.
15.
23. 11.
Okay.
17.
I
Okay.
also got 11.
All of you
Don't worry.
are knocked prone for a second as the force of the thing hits you. You're not hurt. You're knocked onto your ass. Okay. You fall as ringing hits you. So that's Cassian, Sariel, Boblem, Astra. As ringing hits you, you're stunned for a second. It takes you a minute to gain your bearings. You two are okay.
Elyse is up immediately.
Scramble straight back to it.
Okay. You put a hand back, and above the lip, where the lip came up, you feel solid resistance. And you look back to you, and You look now, and the vines have been thrown clear off. Not just the top lip that you're at, off the entire building, as if the shockwave came from within, perhaps, and has blasted the vines off the entire building. You look down at a stepped pyramid, and at the base of it, the buildings surrounding this, the vines and mulch have been blown off this as well. A bunch of the bones of the two titans have been shattered and turned to dust up to about the knees and like the tail end of this. You see the remnants of streets, pillars, houses, all sorts of buildings, mostly built in this white stone but now stained green and brown from years of being covered up. And you look and try to lean over, but where the pyramid steps up, the wall is almost continued with some invisible wall of force, and you push against it, and try as you might, you cannot push.
Can I Arcana check? I mean, it's obviously, so that's obviously magic. Can I like identify what it is?
Are you taking the 10 minutes?
Yeah, like to see if it's a spell that could be dissipated or something.
Okay.
In which case, I will help the others up.
Okay. It seems to be a wall of force.
What? Would I know what that means?
It's a high level spell. Where some of the vines had been, you now see a door has been exposed, which seems to lead down into stairs, going into this building. Right? Looking at the cross, which is sort of upraised and uplifted a little bit, the ball on top of it just moving around ever so slowly and humming with distinct arcane energy.
What the hell was that?
I don't think I need to say this, but as I'm like casting, this is extremely high level magic. Far beyond me. And I'm pretty sure any of us.
Right, so we
But it sure looks interesting as hell.
Are we trapped?
I can't think of a way to dispel this, but there is a doorway.
So down we go.
I would say I can cast Find Traps
Please.
before we run into
Yes,
stuff.
I was about to say.
No more getting crossbow bolts stuck in you, Elyse.
You notice about 60 feet and then 80 feet below you, roughly, within the building.
Anything?
About 60 feet and then 80 feet below us. That,
As Boblem says that, from the doorway, you sort of down the stairway below, you see fire ignite brackets on the side of the stairwell.
Like
Ignited
torches
flame.
or like traps?
Like torches,
Okay.
like braziers on the side.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, the welcoming committee's rolling out for us.
oh boy.
Astra's going to use, or just on the nearest little bit of flame, just sort of try and use his prestidigitation, just see if he puts it out, will it come back on?
Put it out, and it, after about 30 seconds, it begins to smoulder again, and then burns and ignites.
Well, that's interesting. You can't put the flames out again.
Then we have to go down because we're trapped up here.
Yeah.
You seem excited about this.
I didn't think you and all people would be excited about this.
Well, there's a lot of things you don't know about me. We'll proceed with caution down the
You
stairs.
just refused to take an
Okay.
arcane weapon from me, and now you're all excited about this magical tomb.
So is there a door near the top, and it's sort of going around the inside of this pyramid?
Yeah, so it's going down and
Into the
inside to
building.
it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sarah's a bit wary.
It doesn't feel like going subterranean,
Yeah.
like not like the.
Yeah. That's why I said a bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Just remember that there's a trap.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a door.
There's a door, yes.
I'm gonna see if I can push it open with the end of the javelin, so I don't have to touch them.
You see a flurry of dust just off into the room. You see lit as you push open the door. More lights burst into flame. You can't see them because of the out of the angle of the door right now, but it lights up the room, and you see a desk in front of you in this dusty office. You see the room curving around. The desks in front of you span the whole width of the wall, covered in like an inch of dust each. On them, just reams and reams of papers and books and scrolls and parchments. The backs of the walls, more bookcases just stacked with dozens and dozens of tomes and writings, posters and scrawlings and maps and notes, all plastered across the walls. You look to your right, the chamber opens up. The same stone floor, but unmarked, completely untouched. Decades and centuries of dust build up. In the middle of the room, a long desk. Underneath, more dust and cobwebs. Strange, fantastical instruments, devices, machines. Some that look slightly like telescopes. Some that look like planetary models. Some that look like rulers and measuring devices and scales, and some you don't recognise at all. Hints of brass and copper underneath the dust, but you can't really see too much. You look up into the roof. The ceiling is painted in this dark blue black, but sprawled across it are dozens and dozens, hundreds and thousands of marks, each with tiny bits of lettering. You look up and see sections of them joined, forming pictures and signs and sigils. It looks like a star map, but not one that you've seen. It's almost like sections of folding against each other and interlapping where you know they shouldn't.
This is incredible.
Yeah, as I'm stepping in, I call back over my shoulder. Boblem, there were no traps on this level, right?
You said they were further down, I think.
Further down, 60 feet ahead. Is that right?
About that, yeah.
So would we know?
So like
as a
40 feet
staircase
below you.
Oh, okay.
currently?
Yeah, but like 30, 40
You
feet
said
below.
60 feet ahead.
Yeah, 60 feet below,
Oh,
and
below.
80, and then 80 feet below.
Oh,
And that was when you're on top.
Oh.
So now it's even lower, but you don't sense a trap on this floor.
So this should be safe.
But
Potentially,
From
but we should
traps.
still be careful.
perhaps the traps were stopping people getting up here, but we'd come in the top.
Yeah.
We had to go to the desk and
Yeah,
investigate.
same. Right there.
Go over to the desk. Okay. What do you do?
Just shift through papers.
Yeah. Okay. You pick up papers and. Sorry, you're going to the one in the centre or the ones around the edges?
The centre.
Okay. On that one, there's not so many papers. There are a few. You go and you touch a few, and the sort of edges of them just crumble to dust as you touch them. But the majority are intact. As you put your hands down, and the wind moves slightly, the gust just blows the dust off these things. You see copper banding over brass tubes and clear sort of lenses at the ends of these things, which are almost like telescopes, and then these scales which have 7 different axes and all held in different points. Machines that you can't comprehend the meaning of at all. You see one sort of dish held up with 2 prongs coming out over the centre, holding what looks like a ring in the centre, but it has 2 bands parallel to each other, so kind of forming almost like a sphere. You look closely and they're joined by 2 tiny screws, and on them are tiny inscriptions.
In what language?
Not a language you recognise, but reading through, Elyse, you recognise some fragments of it.
What's this one? Sorry, which object was
On
this
the
on?
ring, which is held on these 2 prongs and one sort of large brass dish. There are elements of it in Elven, which actually you 3 would recognise. There are elements in Infernal, which you recognise.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do the pieces that I can read say?
It's
Was it
very,
too
very
fragmented?
hard. It's so small. You'd probably have to put it under a microscope to see. You just make out like 1 or 2 letters which aren't covered in by dust. This ring's maybe like a few millimetres wide.
I'll scrub the dust
Maybe
off.
pick it up and blow it in. The bands fold in on themselves. You touch it and they kind of sink in to become one full ring. You tap it again and they all spin round. You find there are now actually 8 bands. So you hold it by sort of the top and the bottom. It's the size of a ring, but there are 8 bands revolving round. And they sort of revolve around each other freely.
Does it seem like it's mechanical or arcane?
You see 2 screws, like tiny screws, holding it together, where the rings intersect. But there is definitely a sense of the arcane as well.
Can I identify?
You can. If you're taking the 10 minutes to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe to do that because people are going to be searching other things.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone else.
I look at the bookshelves and.
Okay.
Are there any languages that I recognize?
Yeah, you do recognise some. A lot are in a language you don't recognise, but you do see elements in common. You pull some of the scrolls out, and the ones that don't turn to dust when you touch them, the ones that sort of bound away in like leather scrolls, you look at and unwind, and you see writings and writings on gates, travelling, and the planes, and connections. Notes, sort of annotations on the main body of text which you don't recognise. It's hard to get a full comprehension of everything that's going on, and you sort of work your way around the room, and the things on the left of the room seem to be older, the things over to the right seem to be newer. Where the things are older, they're all stacked in orderly and alphabetised and categorised. On the other side of the room where it's busier, there are just stacks and stacks of papers and things stuck to wall with daggers or wedged between stone, and sort of like lines drawn over the wall itself from one document to another to a scroll down on the table. And by the end of it, the more recent ones, the writing is janky and large and out of form and seems to switch. It becomes spikier and darker and seems to shift in the writings that it is, or in the language that it is.
Does anyone know what any of this is? I mean, it looks like a
Laboratory of some kind.
research, yeah.
I'd like to make an investigation check to see if there's anything sort of hidden in the room.
Okay, well, whereabouts are you going?
Just sort of around the edges, looking to see if there's maybe like devices, or you know how sometimes you get trapped bookcases or loose stones in the wall, or like a dagger that's...
Okay. Yeah, you're just sort of like in this half of the room.
Just
right
like
now.
something hidden. 10.
Okay. You do look around, and once you get into the middle, you do see on the other side, in the other side of the chamber, there is what seems to be like an onyx ball wrapped in these copper bands, cracked, lying on the ground.
Okay.
Sort of just in the middle of the ground. And then on the other side, more desks. All of these ones look more disorderly and messed up as well.
I'd like to go check out the ball.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow Cassian.
Okay. As you walk past like the section of doors, the middle section, you hear a rumble coming from the stone below you. I'd like to roll initiative.
Did my identify happen before that?
No,
or-
because it will have been
Okay.
interrupted.
I'll pocket that thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
25 to 20.
22. Oh. Huh? Nice.
Sounds doing really well. 19 to 15.
15.
14.
Oh, wait, that's not it. Never mind.
That's fine.
Cat can't do maths.
15.
It's very late.
We're okay, we can't do maths.
It's
Okay,
true. It's true.
14 to 10. Okay, 9 to 5.
6.
Oh wow.
Are your dice loaded?
Initiative bonus. I used a different dice this time. Because I was like, fuck that one fuck
Your dice are loaded to 4.
I made the mistake. Oh, hello. Why is it always me with the big things?
So you hear the fall. The orb drops into the ground. It sinks into the stone below.
Scared.
And in its place, you see a head rise. Look to be built of stone and clay and brick and rock and mud. Rise out of the ground. Broad shoulders, nearly 5 feet wide. A torso going down into just a column of stone, writhing out of the ground where it is. 2 dull green lights burning where its eyes would be. 2 heavy club-like arms formed at the side. It begins moving towards you. Okay.
Ruh-roh.
Sariel, you're going first.
I would like to cast fairy fire on it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is that that's a dex save, right? Okay.
Roll low.
Roll over.
That's a 16, so
Fuck.
doesn't take. You reach out and cast it, but the thing is so alien that you don't understand. It's not got any biological components. For a second, it throws you and fizzles away. Renard.
I would like to bait and switch. This is a new
okay.
item card.
Okay. What is that?
So I'm going to make a melee attack against the creature, and whether or not it hits, Cassian and I will switch places.
Yeah.
Cassian will get a bonus to his AC, and I will then be in his spot right in front of the creature.
Okay.
So moving quickly, I just pull an arm out and just pull Cassian behind me and switch places.
Okay.
You get an AC bonus of an extra 3.
Oh!
Snacking. And that is going to be 18 to hit the creature.
Okay. 18. Your sword does sink in. It moves like through clay, and you feel it get stuck. It's definitely in. Roll damage.
Okay. Where's my... Ooh, I know what my damage is. It is... That is 10 damage.
Okay. You managed to yank it out afterwards. It probably didn't do as much damage as you hoped. It doesn't look to be very hurt, but a little chunk of it
Then
did
I'm
come
going
out.
to bonus action kick it back.
Does it have to be your size? Are you doing a shove attack?
No,
Or you
arm strike.
Okay, cool. So just make another attack.
14 to hit.
You try again, your foot just connects off a rock. Does not work.
Yeah, just land backwards to brace myself, like, whoop.
Okay.
Hello?
Elyse.
Via magical studies, would I have any idea what sort of elements it might be vulnerable to or not?
Make an Arcana check.
19.
19, not sure, but you don't know what it's vulnerable to, but with that you know that regular attacks, if they're not magical, probably won't do much to it. In mechanical terms, it has resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, non-magical.
Resistance to Renard.
But with that, I'm not going to give you its vulnerability.
That's fair.
But
I will back sort of all my allies in the way. I will sort of come around to here. Can't get a clear shot from there at all. I'll go around to there and as
you like vault over the table. You do the cool slide.
Yeah,
like the
slide over.
Like one instrument like falls off, but it's fine.
And I pocket that ring thing.
Yeah, you already pocketed that.
And I'll yell out, I don't think weapon attacks are going to work on this thing. It has to be hit with something arcane.
You're telling me?
I lob a firebolt at it.
Okay. Make an attack.
18.
18 slams into the center of its chest.
Nice.
It at you.
Yes.
Growls.
Yes.
Angry eyebrows form in the rock.
7.
7. Okay, that's fire damage. Yeah. Okay.
Who's fighting the thing from the Fantastic Four?
Pretty much.
F in the chat for the thing.
F. Big F. Okay.
I turn around and cast. Thank you. Turn around and cast Moonbeam.
Get him.
Okay.
Thingies.
Okay. What's it say? Constitution. Or Dex?
Constitution. Oh, yeah. Constitution.
Okay. The moonbeam hits it. If you roll damage, this circle of silvery light opens up in the star map above you.
20. Oh,
Nice. Okay. You see it burn down over it. Little chunks do sizzle off. It takes half damage if it succeeds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So still 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job, Lem.
Nice. Okay, Cassian, you'll go.
Is this thing, did you say rock or stone?
It looks to be like it's made of rock and stone, yes.
I reach out my wand and behind it, like centering on its head as to avoid Renard,
Yeah.
I cast Shatter.
Yes. What is the damage type of shatter?
Thunder damage.
Okay.
And creature made of inorganic materials
Yeah.
such as stone.
What is the radius on it as well?
Disadvantage.
Range?
10 feet sphere.
Okay, so it will hit the ceiling and the wall as well. Behind it, just so you know. Okay?
Cool. So it's got disadvantage on a
Yeah.
con 14 save.
It is definitely made out of stone. So, okay. Con save, what's the... actually, I've got your DC.
Yeah, and it's disadvantage. on that roll.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
So 19 and the 3. So that's yeah, failure.
So that is 11 thunder damage.
11 damage. Okay. This invisible explosion goes off behind it and just rocks the creature. It sways forward. Chunks of boulder from its shoulders falling off. It does a lot more damage than you expected it to. and cracks form in it.
Nice.
Okay? It sways
Thanks for the range, Renard.
sorry, what did you say the damage was?
11.
Okay. Astra, you'll go.
Going to use dissonant whispers on it.
Okay. It doesn't need to know your language, does it?
No.
Okay.
It's Wiz 13 save it needs to make.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It doesn't seem to take. Like the spell doesn't seem to slash.
Okay. It just says Astra calling him ugly in his head then.
Angry eyebrows intensify.
It's like, you're an ugly bugger, right?
Okay.
Doesn't understand your language, but no.
Okay, it's going to. For a second, it reels back and then drops below the ground, melding into the stone itself. It reappears, the stone cracking and reforming around it. And there.
Hello.
I did it a big hurt, huh?
Yeah, you pissed it off.
From this angle, it's like.
I'm going to use my nice bronze dice.
Ooh. You got your +3 bonus.
I know I do!
Yes.
Fam!
Okay, that's an 18 and a natural 20.
And we both hit.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Okay. You see it disappear, and then a few seconds later, rise out of the stone next to you, putting you into shadow.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Forms and boom, swings down towards you.
I'm feeble.
Okay. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
And then on the crit, 32 points of bludgeoning damage. And BAM! BAM! These two titanic fists made of stone slam into you twice.
So just
You can see Cassian's body just battered and thrown to the ground. He slams into the wall, blood just pouring out of his nose and his ears. Okay, Sariel, you'll go.
I'm gonna run over to him and cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Okay. You feel a cold hand on you, and then warmth, and it spreads through. You open your eyes from the ground, your head ringing.
10 points back.
Okay.
You okay?
Wow. Where did that put me up to 11?
Broken.
Take it.
Okay.
Just kind of smile at you with blood trickling out the face.
Renard, your turn.
Seeing Cassian go down so suddenly, even with Sariel running over, I'm just gonna attack it with javelin.
Okay. Yeah, you might. Oh no, you're more than 5 feet away.
Natural 20.
Sweet. Okay, you step back, breathe in, and launch the javelin. You
Yeah, so-
step back, take the reins.
Scream the command word.
Carishe is one, and you let it loose from your hand. The second it leaves your hands, it splits and forms this bolt of lightning 5 feet wide, which just slams into the creature.
And then along came Zeus.
That's so cool.
It's so
Against
cool.
the Titans.
Oh my god! Yeah.
You know, Elyse takes out a potato.
That's for
For all
the
you
Discord.
thirsty Discord fans. Okay, alright. So 13. Okay. If you roll 4d6.
46, I'm getting the vapors.
Oh, baby.
9.
Okay, the bolt of lightning hits it, cracks this blinding flash of light before you see the javelin stuck out of it again. It looks rot.
It's not going to do anything but infuriate my bonus action. Like, both my gloves are going to light up and I'm just going to be staring down like...
Okay, yeah, cool.
It really is.
Elyse.
Cassian bites a potato.
Seeing this, Elyse shouts, "I told you it would be useful," and then I'm gonna
hop back up over the table.
Yeah.
Can I get up on the table over here?
Yeah.
Isn't that a
Is
bookshelf?
there a wall?
I thought those were tables all the way.
Yeah. There's a desk all the way around, as well as that table in the middle. Yeah, there are bookshelves against the wall,
Oh, okay.
like beyond the desk.
Does it look rough, or is it? I mean, is it hard to tell because it's made of rock?
Yeah, it's still standing. It's got some cracks in it from Cassian's shatter.
I'm just gonna do another firebolt.
Mm-hmm.
Is the moonbeam still up?
Yeah, but it's moved though.
Oh yeah. Where did you?
Yeah, where is it?
So
I'm going to assume I didn't step into it.
no, we'll assume you didn't.
No, the thing was here before, no?
It was on the thing.
Yeah,
so
it was
like-
there.
On the wall.
We say you have space to go around it.
11 to hit.
Okay. The bolt just dissipates into spark across its chest. Boblem, you'll go.
I move the moonbeam to the beast.
Okay. You do that as your action.
Yeah, I do that as my action.
Okay. So that's a dex save for me.
No.
Constitution?
Constitution.
Okay, that's a failure. Roll some damage.
Get him.
You see the moonbeam brighten in intensity and moves over the creature. You see some points of it sparkling with like inlaid, uncut, raw gems, like so creating this like dazzling rainbow effect across the star map over the ceiling. Okay. Cassian, you'll go.
Disengage.
Okay.
I don't know how much I do. I just want to move to this corner.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get. You run right back to the corner.
Just nopes away.
Run.
I'd like some range, please.
Okay. You doing? Oh, that was your action. Yeah. Are you doing it as your bonus action?
Don't really have anything that I can do as a bonus action. I'm just like, thanks for the help, everyone!
Scrabble up. Your hair coming a bit loose and a bit panicked. You back up into the corner and get yourself up.
He says as he runs away.
Astra.
We've got your back, don't worry. And bonus action to heal you. So I'll give you. Let me just check what you get. You get 9 back.
Thank you.
And then my action is I'm gonna try and use Dissonant Whispers on the creature again.
Okay.
Where's 13 again?
Doesn't work. 16 plus 0. Yeah.
Damn this thing.
Sorry. It's too wise. Stone is wise. Okay. It's going to go.
Oh, if it's his turn and he started there.
Yes.
Yes, attack.
Roll.
Gets damage.
I'll roll.
Noise 13.
13. Okay. It closes the distance to you, moves out of the moonbeam, and it's going to make an attack against each of you. Okay. So against Astra, that's a 16 plus 8. I believe that hits.
Just a bit.
A little hit. Just a little scratch.
Against Sariel, that's a 15 plus 8. Yeah. Okay. 2 fists. Hammer down on you both. Hey, at least it's not a crit this time.
Thanks.
Count your blessings. Okay, so against you, you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Sariel, you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. Yeah. Okay, and that's its turn. It's your turn now.
How close is it to us now?
It's within melee range, it's in 5 feet of you.
Can I try using Frostbite on it?
You can, yes.
That's a Constitution save.
It's a 13.
Nah.
That succeeds. Just.
Save. That doesn't say anything about. Nah.
Sorry.
Dang it!
Sorry. Okay. You reach out and frost does like build up out the outside of it, but as it moves, it just flakes off.
Boo!
Okay. Renard.
I'm going to move myself back in front of Cassian and Commander's Strike to whatever you did before, do it again.
My precious spell slots.
By the way, you don't have to do exactly the thing you did before. You can just make an attack.
Thank God.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the thing I tell you to do.
Arcane Bolt.
Yeah. Okay. Make an attack.
Bye.
Throw everything on the floor.
You're sort of still getting up when you cast it off and hit a section of the star map. A chunk of masonry like, falls down.
I just spit out some blood. Sorry.
Okay. Elyse.
So we've seen fire and lightning do damage to this so far.
It damages it.
And thunder.
Yeah, what Cassian did the most damage to it.
Is there any way I could cast Thunder Wave without hitting my allies? Because Astra and Sariel are like right there. That's why I didn't do it before as well.
You could push through them, and you could get to the other side of it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, because can I climb?
No, so that's a step.
Like
You could push through them, so you could go...
That square that is empty, no?
Yeah, so you could get to there.
I kind of wanted to try and push it back into the moonbeam,
Oh.
if possible.
You can get into our spaces.
Yeah, that's true.
You won't be able to end your turn there. You can go through.
Right.
So you could go there, or you could go there. So you wouldn't really...
Oh, no, just hit
From there, you'd...
For lols.
Yeah, it would hit them. There's no way to do it without hitting someone.
From that side, but from this side I could.
Well,
So you push the creature.
it's a
into
15-foot
Renard.
cube centered on you, so it would get Astra or it would get Sariel.
She's not going to do that.
Unless, wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could go from there.
Then it's like pushing it into them,
Yes, it would.
which again I don't want to do.
Yeah, it would push it through them.
And would that damage them if it was like a big thing of rock going right through?
It would knock them prone, I'll say, but I wouldn't say it would damage them.
She's not going to do that. I'll stay up on my perch.
Okay.
And chromatic orb of... You can't chromatic orb of thunder, can you?
No, you can't.
I've seen my fire attack work, so I will take out the arcane focus, wrap the chain around my armor, and little spits of lightning come down it, but I cast a chromatic orb of fire.
Okay.
Come on. Ooh, 20, not natural.
20 hits. It hits the shoulder and like burns a bit off. You see a bit of clay like glaze. I know that's not how clay
cool.
firing works, but it's cool.
9 damage.
9 damage, okay. Okay. It's looking a bit rough. Like there are larger cracks appearing in it. Okay. Boblem, your turn.
Okay. I move the moonbeam again,
Yeah.
so that it's like right where
Yeah.
it is at now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another failure.
Nice. Nice.
We'll just moonbeam it to death.
Yeah.
It's always worked for us before.
5.
5 damage, okay. Okay, are you moving or are you staying there?
Yeah. Moving a bit further towards the corner, maybe, but that's about it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say that our tempestuous magic can just fly this way, just to like, so we're like
Yeah, okay.
surrounding it.
Cassian.
Just sort of moving around so Renard's not directly in my way. Using fire number 1 again! Arcane Bolt!
Yeah.
21.
21 hits. You see an explosion, just like sea foam and shell infection.
For 6 damage!
6 damage.
Woo! And it gets pushed backwards 10 feet.
Okay, it goes back 5 feet because it can't go any further than the door. But it does slam into these wood doors which splinter and break under its weight. Okay. Astra.
I want to try and do Vicious Mockery on it, which is a Wiz 13 save again.
Okay. Okay, yeah, roll damage.
Nice. So in... It's not very much, but in... Yeah, he's stressed out, infernal. So you'll hear him being just like, stay the fuck back, you ugly bugger. He gets 4 damage.
4 damage.
She's like, Astra!
Vicious Mockery, do they have to understand the language?
No,
They
just needs to
don't.
hear me.
Okay.
And it's psychic damage, and they have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its turn.
Okay. It's go. So it's going to close the gap again to you two.
Does it go back into the moonbeam?
Should do.
Yeah,
It's
I should walk back into the
It was, yeah.
Right
It all
on its ass.
disappears under the ground
Oh.
and appears from the other side.
This dude.
Right in my range.
Right. It's going to make an attack against both of you again. So first against you.
At disadvantage.
Yep. Okay, it doesn't hit. So one slams into where you were. We're able to just get out of the way.
He's wily.
A second fist slams into where you are, Sariel. That's a 16.
That hits.
Okay. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
I crumple to the floor.
Okay. It's your go. Could you make a death save, please?
No.
Is that a D10?
D20. You just need to roll 10 or higher.
6.
6. That's one failure on your death saves, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna throw up.
Renard, you'll go.
Okay, I run forward to Sariel, crouch down, and as my action, bring her back up with my hands. Like, you'll come back to full health. And as my bonus action, Commander Strike to Elyse. Just, Elyse, hit that thing!
Firebolt.
Okay. Make an attack. You come back with 1 hit point, I believe. Oh, no, sorry, 4 hit points.
Hang on.
15.
It won't let me come off death saves.
So I'm crouched down over you, like,
Okay.
your face.
15. It just smolders off its shoulder.
Here we go. Fuck.
Its head just rotates around to you.
Not like that.
Okay. So Renard, that's your turn. Elyse, it's your turn again.
Another firebolt, please.
Okay.
17.
17, yeah. Hits it directly in the chest area.
I'm going to metamagic reroll that one. To a 9.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
And then I will run this way as far as I can, which is
Okay.
like here.
That's 6 space 1.
Wait.
No, move back 1.
Okay.
Okay. 9, did you say?
Yes.
21. Okay, it is looking rough. Patches of it are like falling off and falling down to the ground. Okay. Boblem.
I'll move the moonbeam to it one more time.
Okay.
It works, don't it? Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't spend another of my spell slots.
Boblem is being conservative today.
That's true.
There may be more in here.
Yeah, this is the first room. Hello.
Oh god.
It fails its save.
Aha, so 11.
11 damage. Okay, it's looking really rough. Okay, you see patches of light are like shining through it where there are cracks appearing. Its arm forms, breaks away. One left and sort of swells in size, but it's just like smashing through the table, putting huge holes in the walls, like crater sized. Okay, Cassian.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Arcane Bolt.
You can't see from there, so you'd have
Well,
to
move around.
That is a staircase.
Yeah, it's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Apparently it's 3 force damage.
Okay.
Just roll on out.
Re-roll them if it fell out of your hand, but yeah.
Did you roll it or did it?
It did.
drop?
I picked it up and it just slid out of my hand.
You can roll it. You
Okay.
can roll it.
It's a 9.
Nice!
You. Oh no. Don't worry.
God damn it!
Ow.
Okay. Astra.
So yeah, scared Miguel. Out it comes.
That's not the attack squad.
I'm gonna use Mantle of Inspiration,
What's that?
which gives 5 temporary hit points to 3 creatures within 60 foot.
Okay, that's not the one where you have to sing for an hour, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, that's enthralling performance.
Okay.
We have to listen.
have a montage.
The rock creature's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a bonus action. So first of all, I'll do that one first. I'll start playing that. So Sariel will get 5 temporary hit points. Cassian will get 5 temporary hit points. And I don't think I can give it to myself. So, so I'll give who's close. Renard 5 temporary hit points, even though you're a buff tank. But you're close, so.
Scared Miguel is also panicked.
And I'm gonna try and I'm gonna healing word on Sariel as I'm singing along.
Okay.
You'll get 7.
Okay.
7 hit points back.
Okay. It's starting its turn in there, so it's going to make another save. Okay.
Tight.
That's an 18. That's a success. So still roll damage. It'll be hard.
9.
You have the floor.
Yay, Boblem! So he seems to try to bring up his fist again to slam down, and Boblem just reaches towards the power of the moon with his staff.
Yeah.
And intensifies the power of the moonbeam that is already sitting on there.
Okay.
Just shines a lot of light on it.
Okay. It reaches up its fist behind Sariel, who's only just gotten up. This fist swelling to about the size of her, before like a heavenly crack, burning golden white light open from above, and more light just floods through. Just as it's coming down, the column of light expands and burns it up. It all just turning to dust, covering Sariel, and it's all like orange hues falling over her. It vaporizes. There's this boom, this solid thunk as the ball of onyx stone from the center of it just drops to the floor and
I call out, don't touch the orb yet.
rolls a little bit slowly.
Yay!
You see, it's cracked even more. It's nearly splitting apart.
The orb.
Yes. Okay, but yes, well done.
Sariel, are you still on the floor?
Bye.
I guess trying to help you.
I
You've got
will help you up otherwise.
Yeah, Astra will be trying to help you up as well.
Same.
Are you okay?
How you doing?
Thank you.
Still like got one hand on your face. Like
I got you. Thank you. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
You okay, Cassian?
Match.
Oh yes. Much better.
take a few steps back and like
Get all Elyse will hop down off the desk
Yeah.
and like cautiously approach the orb.
The dust kind of settles. You get closer and it doesn't reactivate.
Is the dust from the creature anything I could collect and study, or is it just ash?
There's like chunks of like small pebbles and rocks. You could like scoop it up together. It seems to be mostly clay. It seems to be inanimate and not.
Quick Arcana check. Is there anything still going on there?
The item seems to be magical,
I mean,
but the dust no.
Can I just start prestidigitating Sariel clean?
Yeah.
Sweet.
It seems like inert clay, mulch, and
so
dust.
nothing worth anything.
No, but the ball is still very much magical.
I would like to, without touching it. Can I cast Identify without touching it?
Yeah. So you starting on that first?
I mean, I'll take a look around the room first to make sure that like doesn't seem like anything else is going to happen.
You wander around the room
Make
and
sure
nothing
that
else
this is secure.
attacks you. Yeah, okay. You take the 10 minutes and you identify as a stone of earth elemental control. It has probably one use left before it can't take any more.
Should we?
Saruman is quaking.
Yeah, it's sort of like a palantir.
Yeah.
It's got these heavy brass bands or copper bands all around it.
That's something we could take without releasing it, or like.
Yeah, you would have to use a command word to activate it.
All these
It's just that moving past a certain point in there, you understand, triggered it automatically. It was a sort of guardian.
Right.
I'll cautiously touch it. Can I see what the command word is anywhere on it?
Yeah, it's written in Terran. It's basically just the Terran word for guard me.
For what?
Guard me.
I thought you said gardening.
This earth elemental's got a green thumb.
It's not elemental.
Yeah.
Guard me.
Guard me. Sounds like Verrush.
But
Verrush.
I will collect the javelin and just I'm just gonna sort of back away from the group a little bit and like stare at my hands.
Do you still have the little rings that sort of?
yeah, and I will identify that as well.
Okay.
I was wondering if I could try and read what was on it.
Oh, okay.
I think you said there was Elvish on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have known that though to be able to pass it on to someone else.
You I don't know, maybe you might pass around and we might have been able to see. You make it just tiny like segments of words.
I was wondering if were there like lenses or anything on the desk?
Yes.
Like
yes.
sort of look under one of them to try and make the words bigger?
You go back up and you see that there is essentially a magnifying glass is one of the items, and it was positioned fairly near to the brass tray which was holding this ring in place, and you're able to sort of pop it back into place and then look through the magnifying glass, adjust it, brush some dust off, and you're able to see much more clearly the runes and letterings on it. You see in the language that you recognise, you see terra, igna, aqua, okay? You see in common like one tiny bit materia, so like material without materia.
What's the same infernal?
In infernal, you see what looks to be the hells.
Tight. Astra kind of just
Okay.
feels uncomfortable and relays what the tiefling says and then just steps away from it.
In Elvish, you see the one that says the summer courts of the Fae. In tiny writing. This writing is like overlapped on itself and over every surface, and there are a lot of languages you don't recognise.
I wonder if each of these rings represents the planes.
That's what I think.
Planes?
Seems to be something to do with the planes of existence. And this orb, we could use it potentially to summon one of those things again to fight for us.
Didn't someone say something about travel earlier? Were these people perhaps trying to figure out how to gain access to the different planes?
Sorry, one other thing you do see in common as well, the gates of sigil are one of the letterings around. But these are all tiny lettering. You determine no one put these in mechanically. These are on by some arcane means.
I will then begin to identify the rings to see.
Okay.
As she does, I'm going to look around and see if I can tell from anything in this room how long this place has been empty and whether it was abandoned in this state. Like, abandoned rather than...
Make an investigation check.
Okay. 18?
18, okay. You realise probably about maybe 400 years, looking at some of the dates on the papers. The earlier papers have dates on. The ones which aren't so ordered do not, and are just scrawlings and scribbles, and over time their writing became less cohesive.
I point this out to the others as I walk around, and I think they started finding something important. That's what this says to me. And they started working on it frantically and maybe consumed them.
Is there any indication as to the length of time between the older ones and the newer ones? Like you said, there's no dates on the new ones, but...
Yeah, so with the investigation check, possibly 30, 40 years. You look over some of the ones which are more of a scrolling and find, although some have been torn down, there was a sort of pattern, and in pushing some of them together, find almost like a semi-torn apart drawing, like a circle, a howling face, just scrawled over the top of these things in some brown paint or mud, blood, perhaps.
I'm still casting Identify, aren't I?
Well, as you say, we can. So by now you'd have finished. Okay. You come out of the trance, sweat beading on your forehead, your eyes wide. This ring is a map of the planes itself. Okay. It's called Morania's map of the inner and outer planes. Okay? The ring, when activated, will float in the air and project a vision of the planes across the walls. Okay?
Do I have to activate it?
You would have to attune to it and use the activation word. You can study it and essentially determine when the next planar gate will appear on the mortal plane. I'll give you the full details for it, but essentially you need an intelligence check of 25.
Ooh.
Successful checks make it easier, but to understand it for the first time is intelligence or arcana check of 25.
Like inspiration plus other stuff.
Yeah.
So looking through the studies, there are notes and writings of planar gates. Again, this is mostly in a text that you don't understand, sorry, language none of you understand, but the annotations written on it in common, seemingly by a second author, do talk of coincidences where the planes overlap, and let's say a plane of water might open in a waterfall on a material plane, or a hellmouth may appear in a site of great duress like a battlefield, and a pit to the hells opens up. So the primary function which you can use immediately is it projects maps of the planes.
Oh, so I can do that without...
Yeah, and like how they interlink and map over each other. But it seems like they're constantly moving and shifting, reflecting the ever-changing chaotic nature of the planes. Using it for its desired purpose, you can essentially lock them in and like basically find the points where they'll connect and then freeze it on that. Work out where on a material plane and when a planar gate would appear. When the next one would be.
While this is going on, can I sort of have a peek through the door that the elemental splintered?
Yeah. Okay, it seems to go down.
This is just going further down?
Yeah, it just goes further down and like widens out slightly.
This is our way further in when we...
So this thing, it kind of has multiple functions. It's basically a map of the inner and outer planes of existence. And it can project that map, like, for all of us to see. But if anyone spends enough time studying it, you could actually use it to find points where those planes connect and gates open up, potentially traveling to other planes. And she looks like both terrified and excited and enthralled, like, all at the same time, and it's just kind of overwhelming.
You get the sense that it's probably a very simplified map of the planes, as how they actually conjoin is too much for like your mind to comprehend, but related to your diagram that you have, but like a 3D version essentially. Okay.
Like the projected map in Star Wars.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
Fascinating.
You look up at the star map and realise it's probably not a star map of just our world, or just our planet.
Yeah, that was my next thing.
Several others overlapping over each other.
Yeah, can I... do I recognise any of the constellations?
You do, you recognise many of them. Yeah, but there are many new ones as well. The sort of...
And again, they're like, are they not in the right places, or...?
Yeah, so you recognise where you see the three-headed dog constellation, but sort of just behind it and sort of off kilter is like sort of like the bear constellation.
Elyse is just enthralled and is just staring up at the ceiling and between like the two objects in her hands. It's just too much for her.
Okay.
I hate to be the killjoy, but we need to get out of here somehow.
There's no point spending all our time in this one room.
There could be more to explore.
I know. This is just something I've been studying for a very long time, and I've never found anywhere like this before.
Well, here, I'm gonna unroll my caldera map, and from where I mark the giant skull in the river, just sort of mark up to where this town is.
Yeah. Well, so where the giant skull is and where this is will basically be the same point due to the scale of the map.
So I'm just gonna show you and be like, we can find it again. Okay, you can come back when we're not trapped inside this pyramid.
She smiles.
Maybe you could take with you some of the books, if they don't crumble.
Are there any of the books? Do any of the books look like they would be of use to me?
There are hundreds and hundreds of books.
Elyse, you can come back.
This isn't going to go anywhere.
I'm gonna start making my way through the doors.
The stone is fairly heavy as well. It does weigh you down a bit, but you're able to move.
Okay.
Put me in there for...
But you can pass it off to someone else if you want, because you do have quite a lot of stuff.
That's true, actually. I am the pack mule.
I can take that or something else. Better carry anything. Just
Are you
papers.
okay to carry the orb?
Sure. I will put that in my bag.
I hand it to him.
Character development. You push through the double doors, you take a step down the stairs and stop for a second. You swear you hear something move on the level below you. And that's what we're in tonight.
Wait! Yay! This is so fun! This is so good!
Dungeon crawl!
Dungeon. Maybe dragon.
No! We are
Dungeons and
babies.
Dragons in this economy.
I got you, babes.
Thank you.
They can switch rocks, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so
Thank you,
much. It's been
Jamie.
wonderful. As per. Thank you all. We love you so much.
So much.
And we'll see you next week.
We love you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi y'all, it's Boblem. Thank you for joining us on our adventures once again. We're happy to announce we're working with Wormwood Gaming Supplies to offer you free shipping in the US and $10 off international shipping on any order with our Life at the Party discount codes. You can find both codes in the description below. If you'd like to get more from Life at the Party, you can support us on Patreon or on YouTube using the new Join button. We have lots of nice rewards and offers, so be sure to check them out. Thank you to our executive producers, Katelyn Ferguson, Alexandra Johnson, Leah Moran, and Emily Hogarth. Until next time, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you on Wednesday.